Okay, what you will need, possibly a block and a belt. So just revising hip stretches a little bit. These stretches can be used at the beginning of a class or the end of a class. So I had a lovely request of someone about warm down stretches. Oh, there's loads, and we'll definitely cover those. So thank you so much for your message. Appreciate it very much. It's lovely to get feedback. So belt, block, block, belt. Right, so find your block and sit to it. So again, you're just perching like a little bird on the end of that block. So tilt your pelvis, long spine, shoulders down, crown shines upwards. So it's that thread of gold. So just to remind you all about going back to those breathing videos if you need to. Vital to find that strength in your breath. Vital. It's the key to it all. It's the opening of doors, breath. It's the strength within you. It's the calm within you. It's the very essence of anything before any moves that we create within yoga. So really my foundation, I said the foundations of yoga, it's not stretching and lunges, it's your breathing. Oh, it's your breathing. So please find your deeper breath. So here we go. Take the hands to the ground. If you find that it's not for you to sit cross-legged, just take your legs long. Just be comfortable. Let the head drop. Find the breath to the back of the heart, the ribs, maybe to belly. Close the eyes and look to your third eye. Take a swallow with the throat. Allow the head to dip a bit more, and it may well do. So just release and let go. It could be you walk your hands forwards. Soften the face. Connect to breath. Again, a swallow through the throat. Walk your hands back up, eyes closed, push up through the ground and sit tall again. Enjoy the moment. And then when you're ready, you just let the eyes open. You come back, the worlds meet. Switch the legs over. So we have a tendency to get into bad habits. I certainly do. And it's a sense of awareness of them. So you find that one hip will feel totally different to another when you switch the legs, if you're able to cross your legs here. So awareness of that. So yoga can bring in all sorts of thoughts and feelings and connections. So even from simply just sitting to turn that and that thought to those bad habits that I create, we all create. Repeat the same thing. So the hands come down, head drops, and breathe. Soften the face. Swallow through the throat. Find the breath. Okay, walk the hands forwards a bit if you wanted to, or just let the head drop a bit more. Give permission, as I would say, just let the head drop. Soften the shoulders. So that reminder about giving permission, the fact that we always tend to stop ourselves from doing things, creating stuff, connecting to people, or even disconnecting. So those cages and barriers and boundaries that we put up for ourselves, give permission to be free of them. When you're ready, eyes shut, inhale up. Exhale, let the body soften. The breath is traveling up and down your body. That alone is the most beautiful entry to a meditation. Okay, just that sense of sitting and being within and the colours that come. But we're going to move through this a little bit. So in your own time, you let the light come back in, the colours. You look around you, as I am now, and you look for the things that light your heart, always. Do that throughout the whole entire day. Create that good habit, and you'll find gratitude and happiness and love in the smallest of things. In the smallest of things. The happiness in the now, as it's known, is the safest place, I find. So whatever worries and troubles you've got going on, to just find some stillness, to sit and be, to think, to breathe, to feel, to connect to your life, to the meaning of it, to this universe, this world, the people within it, the people who have got very difficult lives within this world. When you're ready, unravel the legs and take them long. So stretch out, feel the blood flow. That's your body talking to you. It's all those cells, they're just talking to one another. They're zinging and talking, and the colour and light within you connecting. So Dandasana, you can sit tall within this. Flex the feet, breathe. If you wish to, you could find your belt now. Sit up. Exhale over, belly to spine. You could do a few of those if you wanted to before you took to a forward fold. Flex the feet. Now, as much as you're very tempted perhaps to take your head to your shin, around the spine, encourage the chest to remain open as you come to a fold. So as you come up, hinge, chest forwards and come down. So it could be you find your feet, the belt. Flex the feet, spread the toes, these little toes, spread them. Breathe. Be aware of the knees lifting and let your legs be heavy. So you'll notice that your legs will switch on a little bit. So to invite the stretch in, release through the stretch, release it. Long, slow, deep breaths. Now be aware of your neck, so keep it long. And just find your fold where you want to be, but encourage the rib cage to the thigh. If you feel like you slipped off your block, like I have, just perch yourself back on and go back into the fold. Stay there for as long as you wish to. Soften the knees. Some of you might feel that you want to bend the legs there, bend the knees a little bit into that fold. If you need to, go for it, but if you can, keep those legs straight. Okay. Encourage that good habit. It doesn't matter how far you fold down, doesn't matter. When you're ready, you come up from the fold, eyes shut, walk up. Use your hands along the ground, sit tall, length, connection. That sense of all being within it together, but your own personal boundary, your strength that remains all around you. Again, when you're ready, open the eyes, come back. Soles of the feet can go together. So depending on how you feel, you could do both of these stretches or just one. And that would be to take to Baddha Konasana, where the soles of the feet together. Soles of the feet together. like so, or the feet are further away from you, Tara Asana. So one or the two, so the feet could be further away or closer. So you can have a little push down on those knees, a little bob if you wanted to. Encourage the soles of the feet. If you're in Baddha Konasana where the feet are closer together to you, open up the feet and look to the soles of your feet. So mine are really grubby because I'm always on this roof, which makes me smile. But also the lines of your feet. You know, how often do you get to look at the base of your foot? So the sense of even looking at palms and feet, connecting, these are the surfaces that you touch the planet with more than anything, apart from your eyes, heart. So encourage the elbows into the legs a little bit there. Now, rule of thumb here, some yoga teachers will teach for their heart, the heart going forwards and lengthening and hinging through a hip here, and others will just kind of let your head bob. Preference is entirely up to you. I quite like sending heart forwards, but I don't always do that. So go where you feel it's right for you, but I like it here. Go where you like. Be with who you want to be with. In mind and body, spirit. Taking a few breaths in this position. So we're going through this quite rapidly so that you can perhaps do this at a slower pace and pause and be where you need to be. So we're going to do just one side of the body so that you can repeat on the other if you so wish, or just leave out the left and right stretches. If you go to Tara Asana, take the feet forwards a little bit more. So excuse my Essex accent in all of these Sanskrit names. Elbows come before the forearms and hinge through the hips and just come forwards a little bit more. Now if you wish to here, you could remain. I have some amazing clients. One I'm absolutely adore who comes into my class, Sensei Michael. He would stay like this for an age. So you find the block where you wish it to be in terms of resting to third eye. You could even use your elbows to a block and thumbs and just rest your head to here, and you just get that lovely pressure onto third eye. It's a really nice thing to then close the eyes and just travel with. So a sense of going within. When you've finished and you've had enough, do try this, just purely this, coming up, opening the eyes after a meditation and connecting. It's a lovely thing to do. But if you wanted to go for other stretches, so this could be warm up or warm down, all these stretches, take yourself to deer pose. So geometry, triangles here we're creating. So the shin on the right here is squaring off to the front of my mat, creating really lovely sort of equal angled triangle in here. And then here I've got another triangle. Okay, so I'm creating shapes. Now my hip is kind of not quite square, so I might even just pop a block to square off my hip, just edge myself on the block ever so slightly to square off my hip. So that's me with sitting on the block, just edging my block on, and that's me down. Okay, so as I sit tall here, breathing. So deer pose, the clue for me and how I feel, it's in the name. So I think of myself like that deer in a forest, and that sense of looking around me as I'm still. So currently, I'm going to take this hand, the opposite hand to opposite knee, And I'm going to take myself around behind me, and I might even find the corner of one of the blocks there, and just draw and open up my chest a little bit, gaze. As I'm looking behind me, I'm stretching my eyeballs. I'm even taking a swallow through my throat, and I'm breathing through my spine. I think about my bones within me and the way I sit. And then when I'm ready, I then take the gaze forwards and leave the body shape where it is. So I'm looking right behind me. I then gaze forwards. So I've looked right behind me to the point where I can't look no further. And from here, it's that lovely rotation through the spine. You'll feel it. You might find the corner of the block and just have a little open gaze. Look with the eyes. And then when you're ready, just take the gaze forwards, nice and slowly. So from here, we can take this stretch to a deeper posture. So instead of triangles, think squares, 90 degrees. Open up. The block can be used or not. I actually prefer at this point to leave the block to the side. Sit tall. So from here, I'm thinking about my navel traveling towards my knee, and then I'm taking a fold. You could use your blocks here. Notice that you will hold in your hip, release, let go. Where you're holding tension, become aware of it to allow yourself to let go, and do that when you go to bed at night. When you lie there, scan your body. Breathe nice and deeply. You can stay here for as long as you wish to then walk yourself around. Could be that you find eventually that your foot will hook to the edge of your elbow. I'm trying to get myself in shot here. That's better. Wish I'd done that before. So you find yourself square. So from there, you're reaching down and then coming across. As you come across, the foot's square at the front here. You can actually take to the forearm and actually come to a fold. Hold it there. You could even use your block to rest your head to. Stay for as long as you wish to. When you come up, it could be that you actually do that little movement between the hips. You see that? Luckily it's on camera there. You can see from side to side. So a few of those moving through. When you're ready, you can sweep the leg round and take to pigeon. Hello. So as you come down into pigeon, think about squaring off the hip. Chest is up to the sky. Tuck the back toe a little bit. Let's move into shot a bit more. Tuck the back toe, square off the hip. Now you can walk the leg back a little bit more. So one, you just check that it's nice and square out of your hip bone. Think about your pelvis and the shape it creates. It's absolutely amazing. Tuck the toe here, send the heel away, square off the hip. So notice how I'm squaring off my hip. As I'm tucking my toe, I'm getting further up, my heel's going further up. A little bit more I've got to give. Squaring off my hip. My block then takes behind. Finding a back bend first perhaps, and then coming down to the pigeon. Hands behind the head. Use the block to third eye, thumbs to third eye. When you come out of pigeon, push up, roll the hip. So you can tell actually all the videos that I film, they're one-offs. I don't retake, I just don't. So it is what it is, and how they film, they film. So this back leg, okay, you can sweep round to Matsyasana. However, there's another lovely little stretch you might want to try, but it's really optional, and that would be you just support the hip again on that back hip. You've got the belt there, as you had before. Bend the back leg up. So it could be you just take a stretch here. Okay, might be that you've got a little bit more to give. So if you have, take hold of the foot through the belt. Square off the hip as much as you can. So use the block to support you. And you can take a back bend here. You can take back to back bend. Okay, elbows in and the head goes back. If that's not for you, don't bother with it. It's absolutely fine. Because you can take it where you wish you want to be within it. Or hook, I love this, hook the crook of the arm into the foot. Leave the belt if you wish to, and take a stretch here. Be aware of squaring off the hip to the mat as much as you can. If it's too much for your back, it's a quite deep back bend, leave it out. So you'll get more from other stretches. Breathe. Again, the gaze could be up or to the foot. When you've had an absolute enough of that, just release out of it nice and carefully. You can even find the belt there. Lower down. Take yourself either to child's pose, or you could continue through Matsyasana. So sit nice and square to a block. So if you find you're wonky, it's not good for your back. If this is not for you, this front leg goes long. So from here, sit tall. Structure in its own right, like a pyramid, I feel. Lovely stretch of the hip. So to get a deeper stretch, reach up opposite arm to opposite leg. Either hook or hug the legs. If you hug the leg, you'll get a hip stretch. If you hook, you get more of a spinal stretch. So it's lovely, the same seated position, but slightly different variation of where you place your arms. It makes such a difference. So today I'm stretching hip, so I could go to hip, but I really love the thought of working my spine since coming out of that mermaid pose. So I'm hooking, top arm then comes up, I watch it go behind me, I find a corner of my block and a hand wherever you wish to place it, but find the deepest hook you can to then open up, sit tall on your spine, find length through your spine, and then take the gaze behind you. Breathe. So confront the ribs, front the body. Now, it's all about looking past. So problems that we have, that we all have on various degrees. Situations of past, things that maybe you're holding on to that actually don't serve you to hold on to anymore. The word permission comes up again. Give permission for yourself to let go of it, to break that chain, to let yourself out of the cage that you're trapping yourself in, generally self-imposed. So break it, let it go. So the gaze past then takes you very gently to future, present. So in the present, as you come round, hold the body shape, take a look, find perspective, clarity. Listen to your wisdom. And then when you're ready, you just take that lovely counter stretch around the other way. Look past, you might even find the corner of your block, possibly. And stretch. This is where you look down, downward, perspective on situations, not taking things too personally, letting them go, letting them sit where they need to be, and you let them go like an old friend, let them go. You learn from them and let it go. Take the gaze forwards, unravel. The legs can go long at this point again. Back into a fold. Take the fold to where you wish it to be, so you could use your belt and down. From here, take up and back, roll back. Okay, you can roll through that spine as much as you want to. Take yourself down. This is where you could go to happy baby. Okay, you could go to little hip stretches again, so you cross the legs and round. Okay, all sorts of things here. A lovely one would be plough. Over. Keep your, I'm looking at you, but keep your head straight. Don't strain your neck by moving your neck muscles here. Okay, tuck the toes. Doesn't matter if you get right down to the ground. Maybe find a wall. From here, you take up to a shoulder stand. Up you go. Up to a shoulder stand. Okay. So you could go anywhere you wish to go. All sorts. Hands down like a little train track, and when you're ready, roll down. Knees into chest. Any other stretches you want to do, little spinal rotations, all sorts of things that you could take to this too. Go for it. When you've had enough, just come to lie, and then when you're ready, come to sit. Close the eyes, breathe. Connect to this world. Push up through the hands when you come to sit. Do this all with your eyes closed. Be within your body, maybe take a dip of the head. Hands come down. And when you're ready, that sense of awareness, of connection to your life, to the healthy boundaries that you create, self-love and self-care, to then give unconditional love. Hands travel up, light and colour. You brush the outer edges of it. Hands will meet at the top. Draw in. The words, the mantras, the wisdom comes. So strength and positivity, connection, love, gratitude, whatever words that come to you, to be strong, to keep safe, to send love on, to connect to people from the worlds around you and the ones that you cannot touch. It's a deep connection. When you're ready, the eyes, your head will pop up on an inhale, and the eyes will gently open in your own time. Sit and be within you.